Welcome to Act 2 You're On. Join us weekly at our studio roundtable as Rhonda, Kate, and Linda invite spectacular guests to weigh in on staying sexy, vibrant, and healthy. Launch your next great act with authenticity and purpose.
Summon your courage, superstar, and step into the limelight. So grab a coffee
or a martini,
and let's set the stage for a grand entrance. It's Act 2.
You're on.
Greetings, friends, and welcome. I am Kate Levy, and I have the great pleasure of podcasting with my two dynamic A2YO co-hosts,
Rhonda Garvin-Conaway and Linda Ty. And we also are joined by our talented producer, Kathy Carswell.
Friends, our interview today fits under the heading of personal development. And to that end, let me ask you this. Do you ever feel like you work so hard, eat right, exercise, do the right thing, and still feel frustrated by the results of your efforts and your appearance? Our guest, Lizabeth Glynn, is an expert in the field of skincare, and she's going to share great news regarding the most cutting-edge technology for non-invasive, non-expensive, a little bit of extra help you need to feel and look your best. And so let me read you a little bit about her bio. Lizabeth Glynn has been in the beauty industry since 1982 as a licensed cosmetologist. In the last 6 years, Lizabeth has concentrated on skin enhancement through non-ablative treatments. Lizabeth attended the National Laser Institute and has received certificates in the Quanta IPL, radio frequency, and Quanta's lasers. These modalities are handmade in Italy, and they are considered the elite of the aesthetic modalities. Ready to discover non-invasive ways to get your face, skin, and body looking great? Then this is the interview for you. Welcome, Lizabeth.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, I have to say, I will publicly declare, Lizabeth, that I love you. I love you because I first met you when I was going through scarring alopecia. So my hair was literally falling out of my head. And my husband, being the dear man that he is, said, you know, you should meet Lizabeth Glynn. First off, she's hilarious. And that is true. She's like, you just laugh the entire time that you're with her. But he said, go and have a treatment and just feel better. And so I did. And I had never really thought about skincare, but I had been doing a ton of biking. I was a big biker for 20 years. And I had a lot of sun damage. I'd been to the dermatologist. I had all of these really brown areas where the sunscreen had melted off and the sun, you know, you're riding for hours and hours and hours. So I mentioned that. She's like, I got something for that. And that began our long relationship of just somebody I just think is wonderful and doing work that is so important. And I think that self-care is so vital. And so I'm delighted that you're going to be here and sharing some secrets and tips to how to feel better.
So excited to be here to share anything I can to help anybody feel better about themselves. Because people they're so hard on themselves and it's just so unnecessary.
And how does that feel to be in an industry, to do work that, you know, people just feel better being in your presence? After a session with you, they leave on a little bit of a high. I know that happens because it happens to me.
It's great. Everybody comes in. They're so happy to see me. I'm so thrilled to see them. And when people leave, they just feel so much better about themselves. And that's really what makes me get up every day. It makes me think about different things that I can offer. Everybody has something. And so when somebody comes in and I give them the mirror and they say, what would be something that you would want to change? And everybody has something different. If I tell you what I think, you may look at me like, oh, that never bothered me. So it's always best to have somebody else look in the mirror and say, this is what bothers me. And then I can take care of that. All of these modalities that I have, and I have a lot of them, you can't offer everything because some people need other things that you just can't, you can't buy everything, although I have tried. But it's important to know what you can do for someone and what you need to recommend to somebody else. I know what I can do and I know what I can't do. And most people, they can do what I have. Most people just need non-ablative work. They don't need something so invasive. That there's a lot of ablative services out there where you're literally removing your face. not really necessary in most cases, not unless you've got severe scarring. And so I'm so comfortable being able to help in this non-ablative way. So we're only heating up underneath the skin instead of removing the skin.
That is so fascinating to me. You have very cutting edge technology that you use at your spa. I would love to know how you decided to take that path. And I know you just said it a little bit, we don't need to cut away our skin. It never looks really that good. And so I'm curious about that, curious about how you found it or what made you take that direction.
Well, ever since I was little, I've been obsessed with shiny hair, and it sort of just evolved into skincare. I would say probably like 8 years ago, I started seeing these things on Groupon. And all of a sudden, I was reading about IPL and laser. And so I started using all the Groupons and going around to all the different places near me. And that's how I got obsessed with laser and everything that it had to offer. And the intense pulse light, which is an IPL treatment, which is fascinating, the amount of different things that you can get from using an IPL. So it sort of evolved into that. And then I sort of started seeing this one particular place where the results were very good. And I just casually said to her after about 8 months, is this something you think I could do? And within 6 weeks, I was in school and done. By the end of the summer, I was set up with New Leaf Salon and Spa in Northborough. And I bought my first laser. And when I was at school, I went to school in Burlington for laser, and they had all the different lasers there. And the very last one I used was the Quanta, and it was for tattoo removal, which is brutally painful. It was the easiest laser I used out of the entire training. It was just such a piece of cake. You really got the feeling that you're not going to make a mistake because it's that easy to use. It just checks everything off for you. It sets everything up, and it's just a piece of cake. And it's made in Italy. The Italians know how to make you beautiful.
They know beauty.
They know beauty.
Yes.
Thank you for that. You've just mentioned several different approaches and devices and modalities that you use in your work. Could you expand on that a little bit more for our listeners who may not be familiar with what this work is all about, and define for us, like non-ablative? What does that even mean for a lay person, and what might they experience if they were to have a kind of non-ablative treatment with you?
So non-ablative means you're not damaging the outside of the skin, the epidermis. So you're going to treat and heat up underneath the skin. So for example, if I were to remove any hyperpigmentation, which are those brown spots that people get, the IPL does not say, oh, you're right here, I'll just do you. No, it pulls up all the color underneath the skin. So you may not even realize that you had, say, for example, maybe a brown spot underneath your skin right here because it actually hasn't come to the surface yet. So the IPL, if you can imagine, it's pulling everything out, and then it gets a little bit darker. In some cases, depending on where you do it on your body, it could be maybe it just sort of fades away. Sometimes it looks like little coffee grinds, and you don't touch them. You just leave them alone. Keep putting on all your serums and your moisturizers. And eventually you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, that's gone. I better change my pillowcase.
That sounds magical.
It does sound magical.
It's very awesome.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. It sounds like I want to do that right away. And so I want to know, at 57, how much hope do we have from in different age groups, right? Like, so is it too late right now, or is it like, how much can you help someone like me?
All right. So I too am 57. You can do anything, anytime. It really depends on what is bothering you at that particular time. It might be the hyperpigmentation. A lot of people our age have a lot of capillaries that are on their skin. And just like the hyperpigmentation, the capillaries, they're highlighting things that maybe are making you think you have dark circles. Maybe you have a lot of capillaries that are exposed here with the hyperpigmentation. So you think, people always tell me I'm tired. Well, maybe you don't really have dark circles. maybe these are highlighting the fact that your face is changing and your skin is not holding on to that collagen. So imagine if your skin doesn't have collagen to hold on to, it's going to fall, right?
Yeah.
So all of these things help. You get rid of the capillaries, you get rid of the hyperpigmentation. All of a sudden, you don't look tired anymore.
Wow.
So, there's many different things that you can do. I do a lot of spider veins, whether it's on the face or the legs. It's very easy to take care of these. They're very superficial, but they can be devastating when you're looking in the mirror and they're standing out at you. There's lots of different things. The lasers that I have are not new to me. They are brand new. And I just got the newest laser, which is the body contouring, 5 weeks ago. And before that, in February, I purchased the Evo, which again is by Quanta. Quanta owns DECA. DECA is the one that built the body contouring, the physique. But it's important to have new equipment because you want to make sure that it's calibrated every single shot that you use. You want to make sure that you're delivering the energy that you need for that particular service. So that's why I picked the Quantas, because they are the best and I can count on them and I trust them to deliver. But yeah, so any time at all that you feel maybe something is not making you feel good. I just did my arms with the physique and I had no idea apparently what they actually looked like until I saw my before pictures. My arms are not gigantic, but the loose skin, I had no idea that was actually showing. But it's gone and it's only been 4.5 weeks. So I'm very excited.
That's amazing.
Is it true that your mother is your guinea pig?
Yes, the poor thing. She has actually experienced a lot of the training, and the veins on her legs were not her friend at all when we were lasering them. They can be a little stingy, but
I don't think poor thing. I think your mother must be thrilled.
Yeah. But she looks like $1 million. She really does. She looks great. So I think she's happy with the services. We've done the radio frequency skin tightening and lots of IPLs. And even if you don't have anything like hyperpigmentation or capillaries, the IPL targets all 3 chromophores, the blood, the melanin, and the water. And so it plumps up your skin and it makes you look and feel refreshed. And it continues to work for 3 to 4 weeks. So you get this basic phenomenal glow that keeps working. So yeah, she's absolutely benefited.
Yeah. And I think that this definitely fits under the category of self-care. I don't know that I really thought about. It definitely feels like it's self-care. And we were chatting offline about how you look at yourself how many times a day. And if there is something that is really just bringing you down and there's a little extra help, what's nice is that it is very cost effective. It's not like some of the plastic surgery out there that's it's just thousands and thousands of dollars. That's not this. There are all sorts of different treatments that you can get, and you go in and you go out and you continue with your day.
You can pop in for a quick service, go back to work, not have any downtime. Of course, it all depends on what you're doing, because if you do hyperpigmentation, you leave looking a little bit darker if we're pulling out that hyperpigmentation. But for the most part, yeah, it's what I do. The non-ablative work is fantastic. And it just makes you feel great to have skin when you look constantly in the mirror and you look great. Then the frizziness of your hair seems to come out a little bit more because now you're not looking at your face. Moving on to other parts.
What I guess I'm really struck by when you talk about what you're doing, that there is so much love for it and a genuine interest and fascination that is that this whole work was born from. And I feel like so many of our listeners who are thinking about what they're going to do in their life are trying to honor that genuine interest. So you were excited about this topic or that topic and how you treat this and shiny hair. And now you're an entrepreneur. It couldn't have been an easy pathway. There have been seminars and trainings and financial investment.
Well, I have to say that my family's been so supportive. My husband is very supportive. And if I didn't have that, there's no way that I could even think about doing anything like this because it is very costly. You know, the modalities are hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's really been a great investment just because I can share all of these wonderful treatments with people and just make them feel better.
Yeah, well, support is everything, but I suspect that you are somebody who sees opportunities and not obstacles. And I love that about you. And I feel like that's what you're saying and how you describe your work. And it's very inspiring to me. I always think like I want to pretend like I just want to age however I age. But you know what? I don't like that my arms sag now. I don't like, I do have the veins around my eyes and it does make me look tired. And I think they just won't go away. I can't ever look not tired, I feel like. So unless there's bright lights on, like right now, it's really encouraging and it feels very natural anyway. And as Kate said, like, why not? Why not? Why not treat yourself? Why not feel good the best that you can feel? And because I plan to live a very, very long time. I want to look my best through the whole time.
Yeah, a few years ago, I would not even go to the mailbox if I didn't have makeup on. And now I never even think about it. I don't need any makeup. And that's really my goal for most of my clients is that they can feel awesome all the time, never feel like they need to cover themselves up. Because covering up it's just not fair to you. It kind of plays this little game in your head, it's just not okay. Nobody needs that. You know, we want to live a really long life. Just being happy with the way you look is huge. I can't even tell you what a relief it is that I can just walk out of the house and not have to even give it a second thought that I don't have anything on my face as far as makeup, and I think that my goal for people is just to, have them wear sunscreen, put all of your serums on, your moisturizers on, put your sunscreen on and not the makeup. Eyes are great. You can highlight them, in lipstick, but you need healthy, rosy cheeks and you need great looking skin. And if you take these little things out of your skin, the little bit of blood, the little bit of hyperpigmentation, there's also post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, which is that little scarring that people get when they have a pimple. It's unbelievable how people have to wear this heavy makeup to cover those up. You get a pimple, even if you don't touch it, now you're punished for 6 months because you've got a red dot. And the laser can just take that right out. Mm-hmm. So that's a wonderful feature also that you don't have to feel covered up. So that's really my goal for people.
And I think this is so interesting because it almost seems like a contradiction, but this self-care and having sort of a plan, I feel like I didn't know how much time and energy I was dumping into being like concerned by like all of the skin damage from biking and sweating off the sunscreen and getting that damage. And now that it's gone, I feel like I'm way less vain. I am not paying attention to like if I brush my hair, like I just don't have to worry about the things that were occupying my mind when I was having all of this. So that's a little interesting bridge to cross that self-care is actually not self-indulgent. It's really, really important. And if this can give you an edge or allow you to take that negative energy and turn it positive, I will say that just getting to know you as a friend, the lens through which you see the world, I think that it is wonderful to be with someone who's positive, who kind of has that, I don't know, you have a very gentle, easy, non-stress energy. And I feel like just laughing with you during a treatment, I leave, not only do I feel better about my skin, but I also feel like, it's no big deal. I got this. I think that is a really remarkable life energy to have in a time when people are feeling and carrying around so much stress. And so not only do they get to have a little time with you where they get to feel better about their skin, but they also get exposed to somebody who's got a really positive outlook and frame of mind. That's a real gift.
Thank you. I love having people come in and feel great about themselves because people are awesome. And sometimes they are very hard on themselves. And everybody's got something. Nobody gets off scot-free.
That is true.
They just don't. And, I think that it's too much of a burden for people all the time to carry this stuff around. And so I love having people come in and share their life with me. It's just wonderful that they care enough about me to share.
Yeah, that's a great synergy.
You're setting people free. I used to do makeup artistry many, many years ago. It didn't matter how beautiful the woman was. It didn't matter what age. Everybody who sat in my chair said, "Oh, I don't really like that. And I really wish I had that." And I thought, wow, women, we're so hard on ourselves. My goodness.
Yeah, people really are. They're just so hard on themselves. They just need to lighten the load.
Yeah.
It's amazing how just, talking about things, about anything, it's a good release. And then at the same time, you're getting this amazing skincare, which, then you leave looking and feeling awesome. And that's really, again, my goal for people. I just really want them to be happy and not have this outlook about themselves.
I love your mindset.
I love your mindset too. And I think this is the time to shift now, because we're getting to the end of our time, and shift into a golden nugget, something for our viewers and listeners who are making a transition, who are recreating, reinventing. What would you say was helpful to you, or what nugget might you have for our viewers and listeners?
I would say that at this time of your life, you really need to do what's going to really make you happy, and to think about what's really deep inside. Is it working with people? Is it going for long walks and maybe finding a nature place to develop your love of nature and share it with people? I think the more that people are out there and engaging in all these different people's lives and really listening to themselves and the people around them, I think really just being open to happiness. And it's okay. It's okay to be happy and find what you love and just do it. And don't let anybody be negative about you or something that you really love. Mm-hmm. But I'm so grateful to be alive and to be healthy. And I just love what I do. And I think that that's what just people need to figure out. And it's okay to take a risk. I took a huge risk, especially a financial one.
I am going to take that away with me today, your compassion for others and the permission and invitation for us all to do what makes us happy. And unfortunately, we aren't going to be able to continue this conversation much longer. I have the regrettable task of saying our time is running out, but we are curious to learn what is next for you on your journey.
My journey, I am going to promote my business more so that I can help more people and figure out what's the latest trends in non-ablative things so that I can stay on top of everything and really not think about retirement for a long time, because I'm getting up there, but I really feel there's just so much out there to work on and to work with.
You seem like you're probably busier than you've ever been. And I've never heard you complain. I mean, you have these long days and more people wanting to get in and experience what you can do for them. That's awesome life work. If you just love what you do and it sustains itself because it's good energy and it's good juju. I really think that the encouragement, to self-care, but also to find out what you do, what makes you happy. And that in turn will make other people happy. I think that's also a part of your mission. Like, it's so much more than just kind of self-care and skincare. It's also an encouragement to be an entrepreneur, try something, take a risk. So it's been a wonderful conversation with you today. We're grateful for all of this practical advice regarding skin, beauty, wellness, and the invitation to self-care as a responsible part of living.
So friends, I know you're going to want to learn more about how to work with Lizabeth, and you can find her at skinbylizabeth.com, on Instagram, Facebook, and contact her at New Leaf Spa in Northborough, Massachusetts. Say that 3 times fast.
And it's left to me, friends, to say, go forth, be brave, live well, and do good, because it's Act 2.
You're on.
Act 2 You're On was brought to you by Act 2 Share Our Stage.
You can find us at a2yo.com and also on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Please listen and subscribe wherever you find your podcast. You can support us using Patreon. Thanks for listening.